Shut up and sit down.
EverQuest 3 needs to be a thing. Hello guys, it's EpicDose. Today I want to talk about EverQuest, the EverQuest franchise in general, and how it will die if it's not already considered dead. By some it is, because it just doesn't carry the population it needs to. It will die completely if Daybreak or someone else doesn't make EverQuest 3. It needs to happen. Now, I am looking forward to Pantheon, because honestly I think that's basically what EverQuest 3 should be. But if that didn't exist, I think even with Pantheon existing, there needs to be an EverQuest 3. The thing it needs to maintain is it wouldn't be Pantheon. It would keep, it'd be in the Norrath universe. The world, the lure, the backstory, all that, the races, the classes, bring them all together. Keep it group focused. Keep the Holy Trinity. Also, make crowd control needed. And just bring in new graphics, new UI, because let's face it, EverQuest 1 and 2's UIs are not that great. They could be a lot better, especially compared to newer MMORPGs. Bring in new AI, and you don't have to follow the system Pantheon's following. You are doing, Pantheon is kind of more towards EverQuest 1. With EverQuest Next could have been amazing, but that pixel, voxel, dig into the earth, Minecraft type crap doesn't need to be in EverQuest. It was a cool idea, but I wasn't really impressed by that. I liked it, but I just didn't see, I don't know, it just didn't seem interesting. And they made it very cartoony, which I don't blame them, because cartoony graphics last longer. They look good a lot longer than going with realistic graphics. But nowadays, the realistic graphics, like, say, I don't know, the closest one that comes to more realism is probably Elder Scrolls Online or Black Desert, like the realism. Those aren't going to ever look bad. You know what I'm saying? So if they came in with those type of graphics, and they had all the races that they have between EverQuest 1 and 2, because some of them aren't in both, and they had the group focus, it has to be there, and they brought it to console. It has to be able to play on a console and play seamlessly on a console, not like it sucks to play on a console. Like, that's what you got to do these days with the MMOs. They have to be able to play on PC and console. Now, if it was just a PC game, that's what Pantheon's probably gonna start that way, but if they do really well, they're gonna probably go to console too. That's easy. Just don't. The problem between like EverQuest 1 and 2 is EverQuest 2 has tons and tons and tons of abilities, like too many. You can make awesome, really good classes with just a little bit of abilities. You just gotta make them rely on each other to make it group focused. Like, only certain classes have this ability and they can only do that, and it helps everybody else. Tanks are gonna tank. They have taunt. No one else has taunt. Healer's gonna heal. But either way, I think the world of Norrath needs to be in today's MMO market. And I think people would flock to it. Especially the people that play EverQuest 1 and 2. If they made it group focused and social. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to have that hardcore, like, it feels hard. Basically, it just needs to be like group focused content, and use the Norrath world. I mean, in all reality, they could copy exactly Pantheon's thought process with like the old school elements, but just do it in the Norrath world and do it with the Norrath, the EverQuest races and the story. Just do it with newer graphics. You could put this on Kickstarter. If you just said EverQuest 3, it would happen. And the problem is Daybreak's never going to do anything with EverQuest. If they do, it's going to be something no one wants. At least not the community that plays it currently. The community that plays EverQuest 1 and 2, they have no interest in a battle royale. They have no interest in a phone EverQuest. They have interest in the EverQuest 3 if they keep the elements that makes EverQuest good. EverQuest is known for grouping. There's not many MMOs that are known for, like, you need a group and it needs to happen. Like, EverQuest is known for that. EverQuest 1 and 2, you need a group. I mean, even on EverQuest 2 Live, I mean, there's not so much grouping anymore, like, needed, but all reality, they need to keep the grouping if they're ever going to make EverQuest 3. And like I said, if Daybreak's not willing to do it, EverQuest is going to die. It is going to go bye-bye. It is eventually going to get to the point that they shut down, they close the servers, or, I mean, they keep milking it. I mean, they just put out a new expansion and stuff, but they're just milking it. All the stuff that they're putting out was already predetermined in the developmental path of the game before Daybreak obtained it. It was probably already scheduled with SOE, already had that in development or somewhat. They're just milking it, plain and simple. They're milking EQ1 and EQ2. But if they really want to turn everything around, they either need to sell the EverQuest 2 franchise to somebody that is willing, because I guarantee you there are some people that would definitely do something with EverQuest. They would definitely do something with it, and they would make something great out of it. Or they need to start developing it. They might be. Now, I doubt it. I honestly think if they are working on an EverQuest 3, it's on the very, very, very back burner. Or it's not an MMO RPG like we would think it is. It's like a battle royale or a mobile phone something. It's not what the community would want if they are working on it. It needs to happen though. It needs to be in the MMO market. People would play it. It would be successful. They would make profit. EverQuest 2 got smashed and crushed by WoW, and it never recovered. There's still tons of people that play both EverQuest 1 and 2. I think there's way more playing EverQuest 1 still, because that's like... EverQuest 1 led the way for all the MMOs we have today, and WoW. If that game wasn't made, we probably wouldn't have the MMOs that we have today. WoW would have never probably been a thing if not for EverQuest. It would probably been something else, eventually. But EverQuest is an important franchise. And that's why a lot of people still play EverQuest 1, is because that was their first MMO. And probably a lot of people that still play EverQuest 1 and 2, it's because that's the only MMO they really played and put some time into. And a lot of it is just because of the people. You get attached to people in MMOs, and a lot of people that are staying with EverQuest 1 and 2 is because they're still playing with the same people, too, also. But I just wanted to say that. EverQuest 2, EverQuest 1, the EverQuest franchise will die. And it's already considered dead, guys. It's already considered dead. It's sad, but it's true. It's already considered dead. They are making money with these time lock expansion servers, which I play on. I play EverQuest 2, which probably some of you that are watching this video know that. I stream it. I was streaming it pretty regularly, almost every night, but now I've kind of cut back. But yeah, that's making them money, but not enough to keep it going. Eventually, they're gonna shut it down. They're gonna shut it down, and it's gonna go bye-bye, and then maybe they'll sell the IP to someone else and they'll revitalize it. But it's almost to the point that I'm wondering if we may never see a real EverQuest, like an EverQuest 3. I honestly think that's Pantheon, but like I said, both of those can exist and they'll both do well. EverQuest 3 can still be group focused, and it can appeal to even still more of the casual, but they gotta stay away from, like, the problem with most MMOs when they start dying is they cater too much to the casual player. And there's nothing wrong with casual players, guys, but in order for an MMO to strive and keep going, other than WoW, you have to not cater to the casual. You have to cater to the people who are still playing EverQuest 1 and EverQuest 2 today. You have to cater to them. That will keep it going. And usually, casual people like that type of gameplay, but I think the whining minority tend to get heard in forums and stuff. And you just need someone who knows exactly what they're wanting to do with their vision of, like, EverQuest 3 and keep it that way. Don't let whiners or people who want a whole bunch of solo content for an MMO, which makes no sense because that's not how MMOs were initially visualized. MMOs are supposed to be played with other people. So if you make a whole bunch of solo content, you're defeating the purpose. Period. That's why I liked EverQuest 1 initially. I liked EverQuest 2 initially. I love Vanguard. I loved EverQuest Online Adventures. They all were group focused almost all the way through. I mean, there was some stuff you could do solo, and they got way easier, you know, after people complained enough. But, and it was still group focused. Like, you had to have a group for most everything you did. There's nothing wrong with having, like, the first 10 levels solo, so people can get, you know, or before, like, level 15, so people can learn the mechanics of the game and have that, like, area where people learn what's going on and all that. But if they're gonna play an MMO, you gotta have grouping. You gotta make it group focused. That's what keeps an MMO alive. The people, the socialization, the need of each other. You gotta make the classes synchronize with each other. I don't even know if I said that right. Synchronize. You gotta make them work together, like, fluidly. They all need each other. Every person needs, like, in the group needs to be valuable. Tank's gonna, you know, tank the mobs. The healer's gonna heal the group. Then you're gonna have, like, a crowd control in case you can't pull only one character and you have to mez the other one because it will kill. Because, you know, you gotta make it where crowd control is important. So you gotta be able to mez that one, because if you don't, it'll kill the rest of the group. And it doesn't have to be super hard. Just basics. Like, Pantheon's going for a little more hard, where, like, the mobs take a long time to kill. You don't have to do that. You just gotta do the basics. Have the crowd control where it's needed. Have the tank where he needs the tank. Have the healer where he needs to heal. And then have, like, DPS, of course, that does the damage. But you can also have, like, the bards. You know, that's one of my favorite classes from EverQuest Online Adventures. Bards are, like, utility classes that give people power, that make everything easier, make everybody run faster. You might let them charm instead of mez. Like, they can charm beasts and, yeah, animals. They can't mez, like, they can't mez humans. The mezer can mez anything, but the charmer can charm something to make it its pet, which is cool. And you can even make it permanent. Those are just some ideas. I think if you stay to those basics, like, make the classes, the archetypes, fall in those 3 to 4 categories, you definitely got to have the Holy Trinity, okay? You got to have the tank, you got to have the healer, you got to have the DPS. But then you add the crowd control and you add the utility. And you don't let the crowd control have the utility also. So that you almost want one of each of those. And that's what I think EverQuest 3 could be, and it could be competing at the very top of the charts with that simple method, with new graphics, new AI, new UI, the whole deal. Okay, like, and it wouldn't have to be super hard. Just keep those basics, make the mobs hard enough where you need all those archetypes, the tank, the healer, the DPS, the crowd control, the utility. Make it where they need those everywhere after level 15. Honestly, I would go with the open world feel, where everything's contested, like Vanguard was, like EverQuest Online Adventures was. That's what EverQuest 3 should be. It needs to be made. And if it doesn't, EverQuest franchise will die. It might get revived later by some other company, because Daybreak's not going to do it, I don't believe. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts today. Hope you liked just me talking about what I think EverQuest 3 could be, and the fact that I think it needs to be, happen. If you have any opinions about EverQuest 3 or anything like that, please say it down below. Please leave a like if you liked the conversation. Please leave a dislike if you didn't. Yeah, guys, leave your comments down below. What you thought, what you think. Do you think EverQuest 3 needs to be made? Do you think someone else needs to take the reins of this franchise, because Daybreak's not going to do it? Or do you think Daybreak is doing it? Let me know, guys. Hit like, sub, hit the bell. Thank you. Bye.